Alrighty, it is time for some Seal of Orichalcos knockout tournament action, and in this one we have got Gurimo, who is going up against Bakura. So Gurimo was sort of like the default duelist who Yugi faced, and now Gurimo did steal Obelisk the Tormentor. So, so do we want Obelisk the Tormentor in his deck? He did steal it, so technically he could claim that he could have it in his deck. Now, in the anime, he played Obelisk, he played Shadow Tamer. Oops, sorry, hit the microphone. Did he play Warrior Digrapher? I know that like all of his anime cards, like he only used like 5 cards in that duel. So we've pretty much had to build his deck just by like an improv, like, okay, what's gonna be, and okay, he's drawing a lot of his 4-star monsters that we've added to his deck. So his deck isn't full of 4-star monsters. Gurimo v Yugi. I just want to quickly pull up their duel and see what cards that he did use. Alright, so Bakura... Oh, he had Man-Eater Bug. So Gurimo lost his Warrior Digrapher. Yeah, Gurimo runs a warrior deck focused on a swarm strategy. The Seal of Orichalcos and the A forces. His deck and its swarm ability to take advantage of up to... allowing him to control up to 10 monsters. Well, obviously we know the Seal of Orichalcos doesn't actually do that. But no, he used the A forces, if you remember, and he had that big army of cards. So that's somewhat what we've given him with these warrior cards to set. The A forces again is sort of one of these cards that isn't actually in print because it's sort of an anime card, because it just gave Gurimo like a big army of monsters. So army of monsters is kind of what his deck has. He also, we added in Hita, Area, Dark, and Win, the Charmers that can take control. There is Shadow Tamer in his deck because he used that in the anime as well. But we added those into his deck just for something new, because we're going to have to improvise with Gurimo's deck anyway. So I'm just trying to find the episode just so I can just pull up the cards that he used. Why does Googling stuff just have to be so unreliable sometimes? Yeah, Gurimo pretty much, he played Card of Sanctity. He did play Warrior Digrapher in that anime duel, as Bakura has got Lesser Fiend to the field and is starting to sweep up, and Gurimo's monsters are going out from play as well. Bronze Knights, that was... I don't think that's a real card, that's a anime card again. It's a shame with Orichalcos, a lot of the cards are just going to be anime cards. What episode was that? 146. 145. Because when Gurimo started the match, he played yeah, A New Evil Part 1. Gurimo, he normal Marauding Captain. He played that in the anime. Marauding Captain is in his deck. And Shadow Tamer. Shadow Tamer's in his deck. Seal of Orichalcos is in his deck. Gurimo's hand. Okay, Bakura the Destructor. That is a card, but it's a banned card, so unfortunately we can't have it in his deck. Which is a shame, because it's actually a really good card. Really cool card as well. And Hidden Soldiers. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, we can... Okay, Heat of the Fire Charmer is gone. I know, I'm somewhat paying attention to this duel. It's just looking for cards that might also somewhat benefit his deck, but it really... A lot of it's going to have to be improvised just because he didn't play that many cards during the anime. But it looks like Bakura might have this first match because Gurimo doesn't have anything on the field. He's just played Missing Force. I think that was added in to like sort of represent his A Forces card. Sort of had the same sort of name, same sort of appeal, but he's taking control of Dark Ruler Hades, but I don't think that lasts. I think it only lasts for a turn. It's a bit like that Mind Control card. You can't do anything with it. You can just take control of it for a turn. Alright, Dark Ruler Hades brings Gurimo down to 0, so Gurimo has taken a loss against Bakura in the first match, but can Gurimo get back in? As I'm just fiddling through, just checking as well. If anyone's got suggestions for Gurimo's deck, shoot them through. But yeah, he didn't play a lot of cards in the anime, but I wanted to add him so we could constitute 16 players because it makes tournaments easier. Maybe Gurimo will be champion. Maybe he'll win the whole thing. He's got Marauding Captain this time. And Dragon Manipulator. We kind of based his deck a little bit around taking control of enemy monsters. Sort of taking their soul is somewhat the sort of theme that we were going with when we were making this sort of improvised deck for Gurimo. But let me know in the comments if you do want us to put Obelisk in his deck, because he did steal it. It's not currently in his deck, but he did steal it, so we could add it to his deck just to give him something else, because he doesn't have a lot. He's Bakura the Destructor, one of his better cards, is banned, so but no, apart from that, Gurimo does not play much else in his episodes. So, Marauding Captain, Shadow Tamer, I think Card of Sanctity was in there, Hidden Soldiers, Obelisk, Warrior Digrapher, and the rest of his cards don't actually exist. That's all we really had to go with for Gurimo, so we gave him, oh yeah, there's another Charmer monster. We didn't give him the 1850 ones, because if we filled his deck up with them, given how good Valen's deck was, the Charmers might just do a little bit too much for this era, but they've been put in there so they can take control of some of the enemy monsters' souls. So that's what we went with. Imagine he flips that up and he takes control of a Blue Eyes White Dragon against Kaiba. I mean, look how little attack points Gurimo adds in the shield and sword that we slipped into his deck, and he's actually built up a little bit of an attack force here. Alright, Dark Mimic is the card that Bakura had face down. Alright, Where's my good old iPhone 13? I'll buy a new iPhone when this one cooks. I've only owned 2 smartphones in my entire life. I had an iPhone 6 and I've got an iPhone 13. The only reason why I replaced the iPhone 6 was because it had reached its level of being compatible. Like, the iPhone 6 is just not compatible with anything, so I'm like, okay, need to upgrade. It did well. I mean, I still have it, I just don't do anything with it. It does still technically work, but it's, that's me with phones. I pick one, I use it until it's no longer possibly able to function in today's technology. I mean, the iPhone 13 came out, it's a few years ago. I had the iPhone 6 for, it would have been nearly, I think the iPhone 13 had recently came out when I bought, or had just came out when I bought it. So, however long the iPhone 6 to the iPhone 13, that's how long I use the iPhone 6 for. The iPhone 13, I think I bought that in 2015. Because I think the first photo of it is of my cat, and I'm pretty sure that was 2015, so I've had it for nearly 10 years. It still goes, man. It's still really good. Okay, off to comments. SCH, oh hang on, no, there's one more. Katomi758. Can you imagine John Mox doing another crazy moment in AEW? I'm guessing you mean the match with Edge, or Adam Copeland, when he took the suplex onto Spike. Like taking a concerto from Edge, but with nails and glass laying on him. Look, John Moxley probably would do another spot like that. I don't think he'd shy away from it, but there's Marauding Captain. That can special summon as well, can't it? It can. So Doron is going to come to the field. That's sort of meant to resemble one of his weaker tokens, Doron. And Bakura's been absolutely slapped in this match. But yes, I can imagine John Moxley doing something else extremely... The thing is though, like, when I saw the spot, like, a lot of people were freaking out over it, like, because the spikes were actually, like, being pulled out of his skin. I can watch that stuff and be fine, but when I saw that spot, I was like, yeah, it's like... It's hardcore wrestling at its finest. It's a really edgy spot. You don't see it in, like, big main promotions very much. But the thing is, like, AEW are doing these spots. Their wrestlers must be getting absolutely banged up week after week. Like, really, really banged up. And, like, AEW aren't even beating NXT in the ratings. Like, they're doing these crazy spots. And they're just not getting watched. Like, people just are not watching the product. So, I mean, it's great that AEW's there to act as an alternative for people that, you know, have sort of grown tired of WWE's style. I heard that Vince McMahon has bought TNA. I am going to assume it's fake until more credible sources can confirm it. But apparently, yes, Vince McMahon is going to purchase TNA. So, ooh, Destiny board. Yeah, this should be a fun match. I mean, Bakura's... Oh, Gurimo could have summoned Beast of Tower. We slipped that in just for fun. He's got a couple of fiends in there as well. He's played Dark Blade, though. Is he suspecting a trap card from Bakura? And he is. Sakuretsu armor. Easy one to activate. SCH292 says, I say the bots are too overpowered, also that's for Valen, not bots in Yu-Gi-Oh, the desk bot monsters. Like you said in the video, desk bots, they need multiple copies for them to work, but if you do have multiple copies of these bots, it will be way too OP for me. I'm just tossing this out there, okay, maybe Valen needs a whole new deck. We have designed him another deck. It's kind of like what you're seeing here with Gurimo. I think we put in armor and we put in soul or something, and we kind of improvised another deck similar to this one. Kodos Kopos says matches would be more challenging if all characters only have one copy of each monster. It would also make matches less predictable. I agree with that. That's why we usually only go with one copy. Unless it's like specific for a strategy and they used more than one copy in the anime, where we add more. But yeah, generally I like one copy of each card per deck as well. Moonwolfie says that Aramage deck could be fun. There are a few cool cards and the deck can be very effective if you can get the card effects down. The effects being life point dependent makes them like a tactical deck. 3 Graceful Charity, give me a break. Dark Hole to get rid of your field. Bottomless Trap Hole to get rid of that cool XYZ fusion you accidentally managed to summon. Yeah, never stated the AI was playing fair. 3 Graceful Charities, I mean that's a banned card in on itself, but Moonwolfie also says, Mai vs Valen, that guy had a thing for Mai and made his opinions of Joey and his friends known. 4,000 desk bot on turn 2 was crazy. They might be too overpowered, but multiples of the card are needed for the deck to function properly, so it's not like you can just limit them. Not sure what theme you could use for Valen though, since Konami did a stupid and didn't print any of his cards. Well, not sure how many armor type monsters there are that aren't armored dragon, but Valen wouldn't use that type of deck. I put in armor into the text search and it just came up with some mostly like really early Yu-Gi-Oh monsters like armored rat, hard armor, stuff like that. Like, I mean, they're not really armor cards that Valen used. So, alright, Trihorn Dragon summoned. We put that in Gurimo's deck, just needed to make 40 cards, man, and he needed something strong, but it looks like this one might be over. I might have to finish comments in the next one because Bakura has laid down Destiny Board and defeated Seal of Orichalcos. What better to defeat Seal of Orichalcos than with Destiny Board? Apparently Destiny Board itself is a archetype as well, technically. Well, thanks for tuning in. I will get through more comments in Chumley and Marek's match as well, since Chumley's matches usually go for quite a long time and they're very easy to follow, so I need things to talk about. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in. Wherever you are in the world, stay safe, take care, farewell.